Museum of Fine Arts, Houston, Texas. My formal analysis is on a bullfight made in France, 1855, by Jacques Raymond Brascassat. This composition's stark contrast in color, light, and detail is what drew me towards it. The oil paint on canvas was about 5 feet wide and 6 feet tall. Compared to others in the room, it was on the small to medium size because some paintings were up to 20 feet tall. As you can see, there are two bulls that appear to be butting heads. The larger, more detailed black and white bull appears to be pushing the fawn-colored bull off of the grass and into a ditch. In the background, you can see a less detailed red bull that is looking onto the fighting bulls with a small black and white dog to its right in a barking stance. I decided that this is an asymmetrical composition because when I drew on the 4 quadrants, you can see each quadrant was significantly different from each other. In fact, you can see that the artist appears to have used a lighter tint in the upper right and lower left quadrants and a darker shade in the upper left and lower right quadrants. I came to the conclusion that when the artist painted this composition, he was using a 2-point linear perspective. I decided this because the bulls fighting in the front middle are representing the focal point, with the mountains in the back left and right of the bulls acting as vanishing points. I have drawn a line across the area that I think demonstrates atmospheric perspective. I suggest that it was used because the mountains in the background contain less detail, which would imply a further distance from where the action of the bullfight is taking place. As you can see, when I make the composition into a black and white picture, there is a significant contrast in the colors that the artist used with the two bulls active in the fight. When you look at the surrounding colors, they all seem to be more muted and less contrasting to keep your eye on the focal point of the black and white and fawn-colored bulls fighting. When we zoom into this picture, you can see that the bulls appear to be much more detailed than the bull or the dog on the left of the composition. The texture of this composition was minimal in comparison to the other artists' oil on canvas compositions. His work was very clean, with each brushstroke having a precise purpose in making the animal appear as realistic as possible for his representational composition. As you look at this composition from a distance or even up close, you can see that the artist used soft lines and organic shapes to create the bull's most realistic features. He did not include any hard lines or geometric shapes, as they would give it a more abstract or non-representational feel. Look at the color palette he used. The warmer colors on the fawn bull are there to help represent him advancing, and the cool black on the other bull is to help demonstrate him receding. He again made the mountains and the sky very cool hues to demonstrate space and distance from the bullfight. And that concludes my formal analysis on Jacques Raymond Brassats's A Bullfight.